One of the US's biggest investors just sold everything?
What?
What's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Beckman here with INFYNIT TV. This video is a really important video. So in my content, I'm going to be sharing with you financial updates, breaking news, and in general stuff going on in the world of finance and the financial market so that you can be empowered and know how you can take action to hopefully create some prosperity and abundance for yourself, family, and loved ones. I am the co-founder of INFYNIT TV, the i2 system, which is coming pretty soon here, and Zagkilcoin. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some breaking news that just took place here in the United States. The largest individual investor in Charles Schwab, one of the largest investment companies in the United States, actually, I think it's probably the second largest investment company, just sold 100% of his shares in the company. And that's a big deal. Now, I'm going to start sharing my screen with you and show you what it is I'm talking about and what this means for you, your money, in the United States economy right now and the world from there. So first off, what does that mean? One of the US's biggest investors just sold everything. Well, here on my screen, you can see I'm showing you Charles Schwab. So the Charles Schwab Corporation is an American multinational financial services company. It offers banking, commercial banking, investing, and related services. Now, the big number here that is important to pay attention to is that their assets under management, so the amount of money that they're managing as of last year, was $7.13 trillion. So $7,113 billion. It's a lot of money. And so when the largest shareholder sells all of their shares in a company, and it's potentially the second largest investment company in the entire United States, what you need to be asking yourself is, why would they possibly do that? What is it that they're aware of that would make them do that? Do they know that something really bad could be coming? Are they getting ready and prepared for perhaps a decrease in the value of the United States dollar, like I've shared in a previous video? Could it be the BRICS announcement where these other countries are now moving away from using the United States dollar as the global reserve currency for trade, finance, and purchasing of oil and gas? Well, it could be a number of things, but I'm going to share with you here the articles that I found that explain a little brief history here on Charles Schwab this year. So in March the 13th here, this year, 2023, the Charles Schwab shares dropped 12%. Even as this CNBC article says here that they were defending their financial position. So what that means is they said, hey, don't worry, even though the stock went down 12%, we're still in a good place. Now, what I thought was really, really cool was that this article here on CNBC shows immediately the protection that you should have as an investor if you're putting your money under management with Charles Schwab. So $7+ trillion, that is absolutely incredible. And the main reason why it's really helpful to sometimes be with a really large investment group like Charles Schwab, and another one that you may have heard of, but you might not have, that I'm about to show you as well, is because these enormous groups generally have really good data. They're managing so much money that you got to imagine the meetings that they're having with people and the information that they're receiving. So generally, they're in such a big position that they make very solid, stable moves that traditionally, historically, make consistent profits for their investors or their shareholders. So as an investor with Charles Schwab, it shows here at the first beginning of the slide of this CNBC video that your total insurance on your funds that you give to them is capped. That means the limit is they will insure up to $500,000 that you have with them. And as well, your cash and securities protections are $250,000 insured. Now, that's a really great number in general for the finance world. Now, with banks recently collapsing and different crypto exchanges collapsing, that could very well have been a big reason why Charles Schwab stock dropped at this time in March this year, because that was right in and around the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, and maybe people were concerned that this could be affecting the rest of the financial industry. Now, what's also really cool, and I'm going to share with you at the end of this video, is that I know of a new financial solution that should be launching here shortly that's actually so 100% secure for your money that it's actually 100% insured. So I'll share that with you a little bit later on here. Now, to today's breaking news. Here I pulled up an article for you from the Financial Times. Top Charles Schwab investor sold entire stake amid banking turmoil. So one of the partners here in Charles Schwab, this article is saying they sold 1.4 billion of their shares in Charles Schwab. Here's the article, the same story that I've got here pulled up on Yahoo Finance for you. Charles Schwab's top investor exits $1.4 billion stake. So that's enormous, $1.4 billion. Another article here pulled up, same topic on Markets Insider. A top investor in Charles Schwab sold its entire $1.4 billion stake as the brokerage fell victim to the banking turmoil. Now, if you're watching this video right now, are you aware of a banking turmoil in the United States? Because although I just showed you these great articles, it's not something actually that you're seeing on the mainstream nightly news. It should be breaking news. It should be nationwide. These journalists should actually be sharing this information with you. This is really, really big news. This could be a warning signal for enormous financial bad things happening in the United States of America. And yet the majority of the mainstream news is silent. If they were doing their job on your nightly evening primetime news, I would not have to be sharing this information with you. But maybe this is a good thing because now we get a chance to meet and you get to learn about the incredibly safe, secure, and insured solutions that I want to share with you for your money. So you can see here the data and the evidence. One of the top investors, the top investor, in fact, in Charles Schwab, the top shareholder, sold everything that he owned. So second largest investment group in the United States, $7+ trillion of money that they're managing in holdings under management. And he just sold everything. And you can see here, I'm filming this video on April the 14th, and this is breaking news. This story just broke first thing this morning. So I was raised in the finance industry in Canada. So my family, in Canada has been in the finance industry for a long time, well beyond before I was born. In my lifetime, my family brought a number of companies to the public stock markets in Canada. I myself have run publicly traded companies in the stock markets. And when I see something like this is absolutely important. This is like a financial alert. You need to be aware of this. When the biggest people that have the most money and are the most informed through the largest investment companies in the United States and arguably the world from that point, and they are completely and totally getting out, then that is cause for alarm. That's cause to become aware. And that means that you and I need to take action. Now, these companies are so big. The companies that they invest in and hold these shares in are so big. They have so much money, power, and influence that it would not be completely impossible for me to think that if the really, really, really rich people have their monies in the markets, they're holding so much money that, believe it or not, it can be kind of hard for them to even take their money out. If you and I had $100 in shares, we could sell it like that. But if you have more than $1 billion in shares, that could take a while, even when you hit sell, for a number of people, enough people, at this rate, probably thousands and thousands and thousands of people, to buy that stock from this person selling 1.4 billion and get out. So if there was something really bad that was going to be happening economically, financially here in the United States, it's possible that those that know of it aren't telling you, and they might even be asking the news perhaps not to talk about it too much. Now, I don't want to start any crazy conspiracy theories, but why in the world is this not mainstream news? That's what you need to ask yourself. So if you like this video that I'm sharing with you right now, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, turn on all notifications, and for my uncensored videos where I really get into the details, make sure to check out INFYNIT TV, where I have my own shows and we have an uncensored private members area where I get into even more details. These videos here that I'm sharing with you guys on YouTube are meant to be just a high-level general summary. Now, this next group I'm going to show you is actually the largest investment group in the United States, potentially the world, and their name is BlackRock. Now, BlackRock, many of you might have heard of, maybe you haven't. There are a number of conversations about them happening all over the internet. But the high-level info on them is that right now they are the world's largest asset manager here, according to Wikipedia. They currently manage $8.6 trillion in assets. Now, there's a really interesting story behind the scenes with BlackRock and how they got started. And they currently use an AI trading software and system, and it's something they use to help manage their monies, and they even offer this AI trading software system to other financial investment and management groups. And the name of that AI trading system is Aladdin. And at some point, I think I want to do a completely separate video for everyone on just the concept of this Aladdin software, how much money it's managing, and how that impacts the financial markets and what that really means for us as humanity. Because did you know that the group that manages the most money on the planet is using an AI trading software to influence a lot of their financial decisions? It's kind of trippy if you think about it. Now, recently here on CNBC, again, the CEO of BlackRock, whose name is Larry Fink, and this article was published 5 hours ago. He says he doesn't expect a big recession in the United States. Well, that's kind of interesting because we just saw that one of the US's biggest investors just sold everything that he had in the second largest investment group in the United States, but he's saying that he doesn't expect a big recession. Well, at first glance, that sounds like great news, doesn't it? That's tremendous because with huge money being pulled out, that could only mean generally that they're terrified of keeping it in. Otherwise, they wouldn't be pulling it out. So I went ahead and did a little bit more research for you today. This is the BlackRock website, specifically talking about their AI trading software that they use here on their website, just so you guys could check that out. And once again, all the links that I'm showing you today here on my screen, I'm going to throw in the description below the video so that you can click on them and read the whole articles on your own time. Okay, now, but this is another interesting article. So right over here, I just showed you the CEO of BlackRock doesn't expect a big recession 5 hours ago. Now, 2 days ago, however, this article here on Market Watch paid attention to what BlackRock was doing with its money and that they were betting on these bonds that are pegged to inflation. So if inflation goes up, then these bonds wouldn't continue to make more money and more profit for BlackRock. But if inflation goes down, so that means the amount of money extra that you're spending when you buy just everyday normal items, it'll cost you more. Higher the inflation, the more expensive stuff gets. Lower the inflation, the less expensive stuff gets. Right now, inflation is really high, unfortunately. And so BlackRock is actually betting on that trend of inflation going up, so stuff getting more expensive for you and I continuing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be moving their money into these specific inflation-tied bonds if they thought that it was going to go in the opposite direction. But that's really weird, right? Because here we have the CEO saying he doesn't expect a recession. So, healthy question to ask yourself is, are these experts, are these individuals really wanting to tell you, the average individual like you and me who are watching these videos, exactly the moves that they're making? Or might they want you to understand perhaps maybe not all the information, just some of the information? I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment below. I'd love to hear from you what your perspective is. This whole article here on Market Watch expands on how BlackRock is moving more money into these bonds that are tied to the rate of inflation. Your money, everyday purchases getting more and more expensive, going up. So they're betting the rate of inflation is going to keep going up. BlackRock, this Market Watch article says, has upped its overweight of inflation-linked bonds, a move the giant asset manager said it made in March to quickly take advantage of the market pricing in a lower cost of living despite persistent price pressures. Last month, bond yields dropped after the sudden failure of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, as investors bet the fallout would lead the Federal Reserve to pivot from interest rate hikes and battling inflation to rate cuts in an anticipated recession. All right, and don't forget here, the CEO just told you he doesn't expect a big recession in the United States, but let's follow the money. Let's see what they're actually doing with their money. U.S. core inflation is not on track to fall to the Fed's 2% target. So basically, the Federal Reserve said, hey, we think that we're going to go down to a number like this at 2%. Like markets expect, BlackRock Investment Institute strategist led by Jean Bovin said in a note dated April the 10th, the market's pricing of future inflation seen in the break-even rate narrowed in March, signaling investors saw the high cost of living in the U.S. falling to 2% due to banker sector-related turmoil and a nearing recession, their note shows. BlackRock, which just went up 3.15% here, that's showing their stock symbol, went up 3.515% when you see that number here, which already was tactically overweight inflation-linked bonds, said it used the repricing to go more overweight. So what that means, let me break that sentence down for you. Overweight means BlackRock, who already had a lot of these things that are basically linked to inflation going up, just bought even more of them. And what the paragraph said just a little earlier on is that with the banking fallout of the Silicon Valley Bank that they mention up here and the Signature Bank, the majority of bankers assumed that the Federal Reserve would lower the interest rate so as to not cause a really bad time or a financial recession, as this article is pointing to here. But in fact, BlackRock, the largest investment management company in the world, whose CEO is also saying they don't expect a recession, is 100% here moving his money into bonds that are probably anticipating a recession because they're anticipating the interest rates to continue to go up, not down. Interest rates up, bad. Interest rates down, good. All right. So if you've never seen my videos before, or you're not familiar with Infinite TV, thank you so much for watching here on our YouTube channel, which I've got pulled up here for you. If you click on the opening trailer here we have on the channel, that's my lovely wife, Kailea, and myself, Mr. Beckman, talking to you about Infinite, what it is. It's a blockchain ecosystem and what we've built for y'all. We have uncensored content. It's amazingly fun and entertaining. We have our own incredible products. And shortly, we're actually going to be launching a financial solution, which is pretty cool. So now, when things are getting really bad in the world financially, that is something to be aware of. But do you notice how I'm not using catchphrases like other YouTubers that actually don't have a lot of real world experience in the finance industry or in making money, but rather they just cover news stories as best they can and share it with you. But they typically tend to try and freak you out and have scary faces on their YouTube videos and use really big buzzy catchwords that are terrifying. I'm not doing that for you because in the finance world, when you grow up in it, when you're around it a lot like I was, what you understand is that when there's a lot of money going down and out of a system, it's generally going out of something, but that means it's got to go into something else. You don't generally just hold on to it and let it sit there in your bank account. And when you have a ton of money, like millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, or billions of dollars, like the guy that we just started this video sharing is removing his money from the public stock market, you don't let it sit in your bank account because the inflation on the money will kill you. Instead of making money by it sitting and appreciating there, you'll actually lose money by just leaving large amounts of money in your bank account. So instead, you actually have to look to reinvest it. So this is not good news for the overall general U.S. economy. I bet you one of the largest U.S. investors was in an incredible position of information. He would definitely be understanding what's coming up, what to expect. Are the markets going to go in a good direction or are they going to go in a bad direction? And I guarantee you the only reason he would pull all of his holdings out of the company is because he was terrified to keep them in there. That is a really bad move. It tells all the other investors, if this guy's afraid and he's the largest shareholder, you need to be terrified. And he knows something probably that you don't, and he is bracing for action. But once again, you don't need to be afraid. What you need to know is if this is not going to be going well, what will be going well? So here on my screen, I've got pulled up for you the current price on Bitcoin. Now, financial disclaimer, there is no earning guarantees being offered here. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to make any money. And you always have to learn how to purchase these digital assets intelligently. You have to do your research, and there's always a risk, okay? But if you do learn how to do it, and you can watch my show, Blockchain Freedom, over on Infinite TV, where I'm going to share with you step by step the basic fundamental principles of blockchain and crypto. And I'm also going to be showing you here very shortly the exact trades that I'm making to take profit, God willing, hopefully, and that I have been doing so that you can prosper along with me too. So the reason I'm showing you Bitcoin here is because over the last month, you can see here the price a month ago was $24,683 per Bitcoin. And right now it reached a high just a few days ago of $30,967, almost $31,000 a coin. And right now it's currently at, as of the filming of this video, $30,354 a Bitcoin. So if you put your money in Bitcoin a month ago to now, you've made almost 25% of your money, which is pretty cool, right? Now, that being said, why is this line of Bitcoin going up? Well, I personally think that as there becomes more and more scary news and evidence that something really bad's happening in the United States financial system and their economy, with the other countries moving away from the United States dollar, with banks collapsing, These are not good signs for prosperity and abundance for the United States economy. I believe that people will be getting out of the United States dollar. I believe they will be pulling out of the stock market more and more, like this individual here with Goldman Sachs just did, and they will be putting their money elsewhere. And one of the places that I guarantee you that they're going to be putting their money, especially when Bitcoin, the biggest influencer of the entire world's cryptocurrency markets, is going up like this over the course of a month, they're going to be putting more and more money into cryptocurrency. Now, I'm just going to show you here the stats at the top of the screen so you can understand what we're looking at. So this shows here that there's more than $1.2 trillion in total being held US of cryptocurrencies worldwide. This shows you here that the 24-hour volume was $61 billion of cryptocurrencies bought and sold in just the last 24 hours. And that Bitcoin, it represents more than 46% of the total worldwide cryptocurrency market. So that's a big deal. That means that when Bitcoin's going up, we call it a bull market, it could uplift and generally does lift up all other projects. So if you learn of an ICO project, or you learn of, even better yet, a pre-ICO project, you better let me know in the comments below. Because if there's an ICO, an initial coin offering, when a new currency or a coin or token is coming to market for the very first time ever, and the whole market's going up, that is a great, great time to be able to buy and hopefully realize some profits with your money. Not only going down in US dollars, but actually going up. So that's the point I wanted to share with you guys. That's the silver lining. That's the good news. Some of the biggest investors in the world are getting out of the largest investment companies ever for all of the money that they had in the system. That guy didn't take out 10%, 15, 20% for an excuse to buy a yacht somewhere. He took everything out. That means we need to be paying attention. We need to be alert, and we need to know how to react to profit from the scenario, just like these guys are going to do. Because I don't believe that they're being fully transparent with you in their own media appearances, or that the mainstream media is sharing with you all the data that they have that's leading to them making their decisions. That's why I'm making this video for you today. And that's why over on Infinite TV in Blockchain Freedom, I go even more in depth into the details of the research I'm doing to do what I'm doing with my money for myself, my loved ones, and my family, and to prosper and create abundance. This is Infinite TV. If you haven't been there yet and signed up, definitely go ahead and check it out. Hopefully here in the next 60 days, we're going to be launching the i2 system. That'll be a system where if you're a business owner, you can use the i2 merchant processing to receive funds for your business. No matter what, if you just want to put some of your assets in the i2 system, you can have your own i2 account. The coolest thing ever is that as you place your assets in your i2 account, it's 100% secure and 100% insured. You'll be able to very quickly move your assets and change them or exchange them into other assets. So if you have US dollar right now and you've not gotten out of it because maybe it's too hard or it's too complicated or you don't even know how, in your i2 account, you'll be able to very easily put your United States dollars in and change it to something else that you think could perhaps go up in value while the United States dollar is going down in value. Also, I have pulled up here Infinite Social. I wanted to show you guys this. We have our own social media network here within Infinite. You can see here I've got a number of friends already, for which I'm very grateful. You can see here it's kind of like my Facebook page. I use this to post the videos and the things that I've got going on here. Super cool. Other people are sharing other really, really cool stuff and information. There's a lot of people back here. We have a few thousand of you, our worldwide community members, already back here in Infinite Social. So make sure to sign up, check it out. We love it. It's a lot of fun. And the coolest thing ever is that you actually earn Zadkill game points here just for using our Infinite Social. So for clicking the photos, commenting, liking, watching videos, sharing things, engaging, you're actually earning a point. And it's called the Zadkill game points. And those game points add up to real Zadkill coins, which hopefully later on in the year here, you'll be able to exchange for real money, which is pretty cool. And then finally, this is our Zadkill Coin website, which you can take a look at. More so when you go to Infinite, you can just click Zadkill Coin here at the top. And finally, I wanted to point out to everyone watching my Instagram account. If you're on Instagram, I've just started posting more regularly. I have been so busy behind the scenes working on our own businesses, running publicly traded companies, and doing my utmost to succeed in bringing forward new solutions that I haven't ever made the time to really focus here on social media. But me making this video is my attempt to share with you what I'm seeing going on in the world, share with you some good information that you can empower yourself with. And I'm also going to be posting a little bit more often when I can make the time here on Instagram, as well as Infinite Social. And we have some Telegram channels as well if you want to check it out and follow us there. Once again, I hope you found this video helpful and valuable. If you like the information, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Turn your notification settings to all. Leave a comment below and let me know if I explained all this well enough. If you have any specific questions, I'll hop in there as best I can and answer them specifically for you. And if you really want to be in touch with me, make sure to go here to Infinite, sign up, get into the Infinite social, and add me as a friend, and you can message me right there. You can see here I've already got some pending messages and about 328 notifications of different things that my friends here in Infinite Social have done just in the past few days. It's pretty cool. Much love, everybody. My name is Mr. Beckman with Infinite TV. Be well.